looks like real patient to get a sense of what type of people may be the best way for moving forward in clinical trial. So now earlier, as I mentioned, we're also targeting in the space called the imaging space. So in this space, in layman's term, is that, let's say you go play soccer, you ended up broke your knees, okay? And then you had to go into a hospital and get an x-ray. And that is a workflow that many of us may be familiar with, or at least know someone that have gone through that. And this process of getting an x-ray or maybe CT or MRI, similar types of machine, sometimes the images coming out is actually not as clear. So we end up using like AI to denoise these images so they can become a lot more clear for people to make decisions. And then this company was very interesting because they're also using generative AI to generate very rare disease type of data to help train AI. Because if AI doesn't have a lot of data to train, it actually doesn't get smart. So you need a lot of data to do that. This Retrace is a company that's in the dental space. So many of us probably have gone through like dental type of work before. And for them, they use generative AI to generate patient-specific anatomy to show them about, like, let's say, okay, this is where the cavity is and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of areas, they end up using it for like insurance claim. And then also they're similar companies like them that are in the surgery space that are doing dental implant. They can also use generative AI to do corner cases to help train the dental surgeons on better performing surgery. Active Surgical is a very interesting company. So on the screen right here, you're seeing this. This is actually what a surgeon will see with the scope going into your body. But sometimes the younger surgeons that they're not very good at, they won't be able to figure out like where to go clamp. And sometimes if you don't know where the blood flow is, if you clamp it wrong, then that causes harm to the patient. So for this company, they ended up develop this tool called the Active Site. They can help you do this overlay of surgery that for surgeons to better see where to go clamp certain things that are aligned with how you are supposed to do it. And for something like this, because it's a very innovative solution and there's not a lot of data out there, so they end up using generative AI approaches to generate data that already have the overlay on top of it to further help with the training set for future decisions. This last one that I will kind of like end on as an example is called the Caliber Labs. What you're seeing over here is that it's a surgery that's going into, I think it was, I forgot where it was, but they have a couple of the areas like the shoulders and knees. And what you're seeing now is the overlay of AI to tell you like what area this is. So it's kind of like also like a training tool that for the younger surgeons on how to do certain surgeries effectively. And they are also helping out with insurance bills as well. So that means like, for example, if you use the tools or use number of tools for certain types of surgery, sometimes depends on the surgery, the number of tools goes into insurance to get money. So if you can do that automatically, it can save the surgeon's productivity time and also instill trust in the insurance company that the surgeons in themselves are like doing the right thing and they're putting in the right code and they can reimburse a lot faster. So this is a company called the Caliber Labs that's based in San Francisco. Yeah, so I kind of give you guys an example across the board of earlier using verbal of what is happening in the hospital, to imaging solutions like the X-ray types, to surgery type of videos, to drug discovery and genomics, and also using like robotic surgery and all of that. It's literally every single field that whatever you can think of, AI is already coming in to solve their problems. If you are a student, if you are a young professional that wants to get into this field and just wanted to get a better understanding of how to do this, we have this curriculum called the Deep Learning Institute. And here are just some selected courses that we have put out there. I highly encourage you guys to check out the Deep Learning Foundations. Deep learning is part of machine learning that is part of AI. So that's how everything comes to be. And there will be more courses also like in generative AI specifically. And if you are a startup in the audience, just thought to let you know we have a free program called the Inception that you can apply with a 5-minute application time to join our pool of 13,000 startups that have cumulative funding of $100 billion across hundreds of countries represented. We provide benefits to them, like helping them build their AI solutions with SDKs that NVIDIA optimized or built, and we help them grow their startup parties, which is kind of like a double click on a session that you have seen and then hearing some commentary from experts in the industry on what do they think of that talk. It's kind of like a sports commentator, like when you're watching a sports, someone is commenting on what happened in the sports. Okay, any other questions?
I have a questions. Yeah. In terms of the drug discovery process, so you mentioned that after AI, it shortened the time, but how much time actually shortened? If I want to develop a drug that is from brand new compared to now, like how much time I have been saved with AI?
Depends, but I have seen 2 years down to 2 months. So it's pretty crazy. Let me paste this article for you guys. Company is called the In Silico Medicine. If you go onto their webpage and then just search on like time saving on it, it's quite significant. Honestly, all of us were very surprised to see such breakthrough, but yeah, now we have many companies coming to us. If you are interested in kind of like getting your hands dirty, for example, because earlier I didn't talk anything about our NVIDIA technologies. If you are very curious about the healthcare space, we have everything under this umbrella called a Clara. So many things are free in there to try for the developers.
Nice. Okay, then thank you for sharing. I didn't do well in biology when I was in college, but that really inspired me to look into it.
Actually, it's gonna be okay, I think. I should say it this way. Now with ChatGPT and similar technologies come through, I would say that we should not be discouraged with information that we did not learn well in school. Because when school is done, that's when you just got started. I didn't do well in biology or chemistry. I didn't like those classes. But now I'm sitting down and reading 500 pages of AI for drug discovery because it's an opportunity. It's when you realize that you are in it not just to ace that exam, but you're in it to learn content for yourself. It changes the way you learn. So trust me, after school, you will learn things based on your hobby, and sometimes ChatGPT can help you. You can say, what did Renee talk about for amino acid and protein? What is that? You can ask ChatGPT and you'll follow along. I mean, sometimes they hallucinate, so you still should double check. But the interactive way in education is going to change the way we learn.
I think the last question may be from Joe. Yeah, if it's gonna be like replace surgeon, AI is gonna replace surgeon.
So I would say it's going to augment surgeon, and it will not absolutely replace it. Are there very routine and simple surgeries that have been done by computers or, robots, yes. Surgeons even can remotely come in and use a robot to operate on a person. So those are all absolute truth now. I think humans sometimes still prefer another human to be able to do something like that. So it's just like, today we are all, writing papers, submitting for our school. Now ChatGPT can write it better than probably many of us combined. Does it mean that we as students go obsolete? No, we just become more productive. And the baseline is there, and we will add our own additional flavor on top of it, right? Just curious, will AI be able to make bioscience content a lot more understandable in the future? Just wondering. Oh, absolutely. You just ask ChatGPT to explain a very technical concept in layman's term, it does a fantastic job. It will explain to you as if you are a 5-year-old or 7-year-old or your grandma. It's really, really great. Robotic arm technologies? Yeah. There's a lot of robotic arm technology. In fact, if you're curious about some of those use cases, not just in healthcare, NVIDIA Isaac actually is in another different department of ours. We have so much cool robot stuff in there. Take a look.